This is an extract from the Standard podcast. To hear the full episode with performances from the Buskers, hit the link in the show description. Here's my chats with judge and musician Anjali Perin, who's on the panel. You're getting ready to severely judge some musicians, some buskers. That are hoping for pitches and spots on the tube, across the tube. Yeah. What are you looking for specifically today?
Well, there's actually a number of criteria. TfL and the company Found in Music are building together this kind of concept that the auditions are there to give buskers a really fair chance to show not just their musicianship, but also how they connect with people. Because obviously busking is very different from, say, playing a normal gig. Some of the people we get today will be professional musicians. Some people will be using busking as a way to kind of find their musicianship in a kind of working way. But what's really important is the setting is that they're playing in a station. They're playing to commuters, passers-by, and hopefully brightening their day, bringing something extra to it. They're also there, in all honesty, to make a living from it, to engage enough that people feel like maybe they might want to contribute something because they've made that difference to their day. So we're looking for people that aren't just a like a virtuoso musician, but also are able to connect, are able to cut through, and really kind of liven up the environment for those commuters.
And from a technical sense, you've been drafted in to be the expert when it comes to musicality and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What things will you be sort of keenly looking for? The tiny details, I suppose, push people up to that next level.
I think we do want a good level of musicianship. So, if people are playing instruments or singing, we want to know that they can do those well. And also kind of a good range of repertoire. So we actually ask everyone that's busking today to have a kind of set list for us where they play 2 songs, but one is their choice and one is our choice from that list. Also just to see how they kind of think on their feet, because sometimes you have to adapt. Sometimes if it's rush hour, you may not be, playing the sweetest, most kind of soul-enticing ballad. You might have to go with the vibe of what's going on around you. So, that also takes another level of skill. So that is quite specific in how they're working their repertoire, how they're working through that set list and adapting to the kind of environment. But obviously we do want a good level of musicianship. We want people that can play their instruments well, that can also get the right kind of sound for the environment so that it really cuts through.
And speaking of the environment, what do you make of this spot at Southwark Station, the acoustics, the setup?
Well, the acoustics are quite nice. I mean, vocally, as a singer, it's got a lot of reflective surfaces, so that's quite good as a kind of natural reverb. But it's quite an open space, so again, that can make the sound kind of dissipate a little bit. So they will have to have things that kind of cut through. I think it's a lovely space. There's a lot of escalators here, so people are connecting up. So you're going to get quite a good footfall here. And it's quite a covered space. It's quite a big space, actually. It almost feels like a really big stage. So that's actually quite nice. You're not kind of in a tiny corner. That obviously varies from station to station. But I think for an audition point, this is quite a nice entry-level place to try out the material and do the audition. I hope it doesn't make them too nervous.
And this is obviously a drive to sort of improve people's commutes, right? To get them more feeling better about going through London, I suppose. Are you looking for largely happy, upbeat, energetic songs and music? Are you looking for a bit of a mix and nuance? What's the sort of game plan, I suppose?
I think the game plan will vary. I think we want to see that versatility in the musicians themselves, that they can adapt. But I think, obviously, it's like we say, we read the room. That's what you do as musicians. Sometimes you have to go with what the vibe is, and that's going to change throughout the day, hour by hour. So, obviously, today we're auditioning throughout the day. So if someone's going to be going early in the morning, people are head down. They are just trying to get to their work or to wherever they need to be in quite a rushed manner. So you need, I think, at that point, again, you need to read that and think, well, maybe it will be a little bit upbeat or something to settle people into their morning. So you do have to kind of have that ability to switch the mood up. And then again, if you've got like a kind of quieter, more kind of calm, dare I say, afternoon or early evening slot, or people are coming back from work, it's a very different energy. So again, you might need to know how to switch that up. I think I'd always vary it. And you never know how it's going to work for people. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of people passing by. Not everyone's going to look up. Not everyone's going to smile. I think with the repertoire, that's where it also comes into its own. It's picking maybe sometimes songs that people might know, and that's going to kind of get them to engage. And then, you make that eye contact and you have that smile and you share that moment with that person. And hopefully that helps their day and it's nice for you as the